get my session notes up from last time. So, so as a recap, 2 years passed after the events in the Emperor's audience chamber. You were all imprisoned in Munzen Keep, which is also known as Debtor's Prison.
Yep.
Yourself and Gehenna both managed to become trustees,
Right.
which are prisoners who have been deputized as prison guards. You get a little bit of extra freedom, a little bit of extra food, but you're still prisoners. You still got to serve out your sentence.
Yeah.
The reason behind that for yourself was several of the prisoners, after finding out that you were a priest, were like, we wish to have a priest come and perform sermons for us. And so they were like, oh, well, alright, well, this guy's already in here, it means we don't have to get a priest in. You can be a trustee now. As for Gehenna, the reason she became a trustee is because the man had someone on the inside, and so was able to, grease certain palms and make sure that Gehenna became a trustee.
Makes sense. She's got criminal contacts, so it's going to have criminal mates.
Yeah, exactly. Ulrich and Leon ended up sharing a cell. I don't think the rest of you, or the two of you, would have shared a cell, quite unless you decide otherwise. So
I wouldn't have wanted to.
No.
No offense, Gehenna, but not my
No, I don't think Johanna
Oh, you
could have
wouldn't-
dealt
you
with the
wouldn't,
constant
yeah.
praying. So.
I think I've struggled a little bit working out what my character would have done, right? Because initially I was going, well, I probably would just give straight into the Whispers.
Yeah.
But then I'm actually going, no, I think I worked out how we do it, and I think I'd go like full Johnny Cash. Like the prison system is where the real people of the Empire are, and these people are downtrodden, and like, Reynolds turned his face from them, and they're the real people that are actually on the street doing stuff, not these lords and ladies and whatever. And go much more gritty priest of the people, I think, and just get jacked. So I'd be doing and give myself a bunch of like crazy Sigmarite prison tats over every service I can.
Sure. Sounds cool.
Is the intention? Yeah.
Yep. Well, we can probably fit some of that into some of your downtime activities.
Yeah, that's right. That I was just through that brief little discussion there. I was going there. That's how I'm going to have done it.
Yeah. Cool. So Ulrich and Leon, they were sharing a cell. They have become quite close. Whereas before, obviously, they were, with Leon being a fairly new member of the party, they didn't really know each other very well. Leon has tamed a rat, who he has named Joseph, but so far only Ulrich knows about this.
Right.
You guys were marched out one day into the sort of marshalling yard, and were told, your sentence is up, time for you to go. Here's all your kit. Sort of a firm boot in the behind, kick you out the gates, you're free to go. And it was eventually revealed to you as the guard, sort of as they were giving you all of your stuff back, they handed over a letter which was attached to your release papers, and the Graf had, not long after you had been imprisoned, tried to organise for your relief, but due to the bureaucratic quagmire that is the Empire, the letter had just been lost for 2 years.
Yeah, cool.
So
we were supposed to have been removed like earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. One of the things that happened during your time in prison is that Gehenna has heard a rumor of a job that you guys could be good for once you were released, which had a substantial danger pay figure attached to it. And the only tip that she had was that she needed to go and speak to the Von Ecksteins about this. So that was something that she hoped to follow up on after release. So a lot of you make your way back to Wolf Hall, where you have a bath for the first time in 2 years. have a shave. You would have had a head of hair and a beard probably by that point.
Yep. Oh, I reckon I would have done my best to shave still.
The sharpened rock.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would have.
Anyway, so you would have gone back to Wolf Hall. Helga will make sure that you have baths and clean clothing and whatnot. And there's a bunch of letters for you that have been sort of building up over the last 2 years. There's a series of correspondence between Helga and someone from the Graf's palace back in Middenheim, trying to organise your release and, backwards and forwards with that. So you get the full sort of scope of the story is that not long after you were arrested, Helga wrote to the Graf. The Graf organised the release, but then, the letter got put on someone's desk and then it ended up being buried under other paperwork and just lost for 2 years. Despite the Graf pushing for you to be released.
Yeah.
But, those filthy southerners, they don't care about the northerners that much, really.
That's it.
What other letters were there? There were several letters for Leon, from some from his family, some from... there's one from his former captain, and that's informing him that he has been honourably discharged from the Graf's service and is now essentially your guard.
Okay.
And so you guys pay him, but you don't have to worry about that. That's still, if he doesn't income endeavour,
because he's just given us a financial commitment.
Yeah, you're welcome. Enjoy. You now have to support someone.
Yeah.
But also there was a dossier.
We don't have to support him, as you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Good. I was going to be like, what?
There was also a dossier of information from the Grey College relating to Hiker's family.
Yeah. Okay.
So Johanna originally wanted to follow up on the von Eckstein line of inquiry, but I did some role playing as you to sort of convince her that no, we should really do the honourable thing and go and inform Hiker's family first, and then we can go and look at his other job.
That's what Steph told me about that, and she chose to re-roll her persuasion so she would actually lose.
So she would lose it. Yes, correct.
Which is cool. That's very cool.
Yep. Speaking of that, Steph, I was going to say I'll give you an extra point of resolve back for that. I think that was
Thank you.
or resilience. Sorry, not resolve. Resilience.
Oh, thanks.
Because I think that was very well played.
Thanks.
Anyway, so looking through the notes, you find out that Hiker's family is from Bögenhafen, which is in a large town south of Altdorf, along the river Bögen. And Helga organises passage for you, which is on a ship called the Berabelli.
Cool.
So you go and meet with the ship's captain, whose name is Joseph. He organises for you guys to come aboard. It is 4 shillings each for the journey because he's already going to Bögenhafen. He has cargo to take there, so he's not out of his way.
Cool.
And he accepts half payment up front and will accept the remainder when you get to Bögenhafen.
Cool.
The journey to Bögenhafen, you've not made it there yet. You've got about probably halfway. You have come, if I go to the map here, you've come, oops, I'm on the wrong screen. It is this one. You would have come out south down this way and ended up taking the Weissbruck Canal, which has a lot of locks and all that sort of nonsense. Fairly uneventful, slow going because the Berabelli is quite a large barge, so it has to give way a lot to other barges coming the other way.
Yep.
You make your way to Weissbruck, which is a town that sits at the exit of the canal and the River Bogen. Whilst you guys were mooring up the ship, Leon and Johanna spot someone lurking in a doorway, obviously watching you. Leon goes to investigate but loses him. The party then go and get their drink on, and Leon does some asking around, finds out that this guy in question was a bounty hunter who arrived the night previous.
Yep.
And eventually the party are like, okay, we were going to sleep in this inn tonight, but Leon's paranoid about being jumped, so we're going to go back to the barge. And as they're getting to the barge, they get jumped by a group of thugs, one of who is the bounty hunter.
Cool.
And we left off with you guys having bested them with one thug and the bounty hunter being captured.
Okay.
And that's sort of where we left off. So
All right.
you've had a scrap. You now have under your control a bounty hunter by the name of Willie, not a bounty hunter by the name of Willie, a thug by the name of Willie, and a bounty hunter who, as you can see on screen, his name is Adolphus, but you don't know that yet.
No, that's cool. All right. And what about my downtime stuff?
Yes, let's do that now. So, these are all to do with things you can do in prison. So, you cannot do the following endeavours.
Yep.
You can't do banking.
Sure.
You can't do commission.
You can't commission a shiv, like a specialist shiv from a...
No.
Yeah.
You can't do crafting with the exception of improvised weapons or moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do income.
Yep.
The only person who was allowed to do income was Johanna because she's a criminal.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You can't do invent. And you can't do unusual learning.
Okay.
So any of the others, you're welcome to have a crack at.
Okay. Cool.
And you get 3 endeavours.
Okay. And what are my other options? Sorry.
Let me get my list of endeavours up again because I always forget what they all are.
All right. Yeah. I'm just hanging. I'm just trying to find them as well.
All right. It will be, if you ever load, animal training.
Yep.
Change career.
Yep.
Consultant expert.
Yep.
You scroll. Training.
Yep.
And then you would have your specific class-specific endeavours. So, what does a priest fall under?
They're academics.
Academics. Okay. So you could do reputation. Probably difficult to do in prison, but I guess you could probably try and work on your prison cred. Or research law.
Yeah, I guess. So training, is that just standard, just basic melee stuff? Or...
No, so training is... allows you to train a skill or characteristic outside of your career, treating it as if it were in career.
Okay. Cool. So I've got to actually spend XP on that though, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I've already spent all my XP and I got where I put it, so... Alright. I don't really know. I don't really know what I'd do, to be honest. I'm just reading, hang on. I mean, could I go for reputation?
Yep.
But not so much. I'm not looking to like raise. I'm basically trying to earn like cred as someone who's been in prison, I guess. And I've been this is my idea, right? So I go in. Let me narrate my idea, and then maybe you can help me work out what endeavor this would fit under best, right? So I go in, initially angry, raging against the machine. become a bit despondent. But then I go, no, whoever's plotting against me, because obviously I still think that's a thing.
Yep.
Obviously thinks that this is enough to get rid of me, right? Like they put a spell on Ulrich, or they've twisted the system to get us locked up, rather than just summoning demons to kill me, right? So it means that they're scared of me, which means that I'm actually in a position of power now, because they think they've put me away and they don't need to deal with me anymore.
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't need to be worried. I'm not actively paranoid in the sense of I'm panicking about it. I'm like, whoever my enemies are, I can get out and deal with them later. And so now I need to get back to my thing of ministering to the people of the Empire, because that's who these people are. From chatting to them and finding out that there's some of them are horrible, hardened criminals, but also I guess I've been a bit Batman in the past, and I've beaten the shit out of a lot of people who've done the wrong thing, and put a lot of people probably in prisons or dead. And so I've kind of done a bit of thinking. I reckon I would have done lots of physical labour and exercise, and helped with any kind of physical labour tasks we had to do as much as possible. I would have definitely tried my best to get some kind of sharpened rock or piece of broken glass or anything to try and help keep shaving as best I can.
Yep.
I will have then basically, I would have eagerly embraced the role of being a trustee, in the sense of wanting to be a priest. So I would have ministered to people who were feeling sorry about their souls. I would have been giving lectures. I would have been doing running almost like an unofficial fighting ring kind of thing. Not in a brutal sense, but like in a boxing training, like sport controlled. Like try and put the anger to a bit more positivity, rather than just trying to bash each other. Being like, no, let's learn some hand to hand, self-defense type stuff.
Yeah.
A men's group type work, I guess.
Yeah.
But
like Fight Club, but less gross.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Less toxic. I mean, a bit toxic masculinity, but not just masculinity. Like whoever's in here, right?
Yeah.
And then I would have gone for hard Sigmarite prison tats, but not as a performative thing. Like I'm starting to believe it. I'm starting to go, if the system can be so easily exploited to shove us in here and lock us up for bullshit, particularly when like Ulrich did the wrong thing, but the rest of us clearly didn't.
Yeah.
Then that's not the Empire I want to be supporting. Like I've been very top-down focused. Like the Emperor and the priests is everything, and that's the Empire. No, I'm like, no. The Empire is all the people, and the Emperor is basically nothing. Like he's not nothing, but he's just a figurehead,
Yeah.
He's like the people are what's making the Empire, not the Empire itself.
Not the Empire itself.
I've had a sort of religious shifting of focus, I guess. That's what I would have done. That's my process. So I was sort of thinking maybe reputation, in the sense of I've got like prison tats. A lot of them are Sigmarite too. Like I imagine I've got like a twin tail comet between my eyes now, is how I wanted to have it.
Yeah, okay.
And I've got like a hammer on my cheek, and I've got like bits of scripture on my arms and stuff as best I could.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, I reckon I've got a twin tail comet between my eyes, with the tails going back up across, like back over my head.
Yeah, right. Okay. Alright, here's how I think this should play out.
Like, and I guess if there's prison tats for being in this prison, being like, I've been here, I'm hard kind of thing.
Yep. Okay, so this is how I think that would work, based on what you've told me.
Yeah.
I think the three endeavours that you should do would be I'll allow you to do a crafting endeavour to devise some sort of sharpened rock or piece of glass or whatever to allow you to continue to shave your head and and face. From that, I think the tattoos side of things will be a consultant expert.
Yeah, okay.
Someone in this prison is going to be an expert at doing prison tattoos.
Precisely, that's the thing, is that it wasn't going to be me. Yeah.
No.
Cool.
So if someone else, so you could do a consultant expert one, and I reckon that with you being a trustee, you'd have a better chance of finding that person. You've got better access to the prison as a whole. So I will make that, rather than being a challenging gossip test to find the person, I will make it an average gossip test, and then the actual act of getting the tattoos will be an average charm test as well.
Okay.
So fairly straightforward for that.
Yeah, and what's the crafting one under?
So the crafting one is under the crafting endeavor. So normally how this works is that it allows you to make any trapping from the consumer's guide if you have the correct trade skills. Now,
Okay.
because do you have any trade skills at all?
Probably not. No.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
What we'll do in
They
that
come under
case?
their own. Do they come under their own thing?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I didn't.
So what we did last time for Nick is that we made it a intelligence test because crafting, most trades come under intelligence based.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I will make that a challenging flat intelligence test
Sure.
to craft a sharpened rock. All right.
So no, that can happen. That's fine.
Cool. Okay. Let me make a note of
Right.
that so I know what's going on. So
So I am hairy and bearded and stuff.
yeah, but
But
maybe,
I will have shaved when it came out though.
yes. Crafting. Wow. Bloody type. Excellent. So you've managed to find the correct individual. I will say it's a pretty close value though.
I'm gonna fortune it.
Okay, cool. Just to make it a success. Okay, cool.
No, do that.
Yeah.
To get a really good set of tattoos.
So that is a success. So we've now got a bevy of Sigmarite tattoos. You can give me the full list whenever you have come up with exactly what you want. And then as for the reputation, so normally I was just reading the reputation one before. Reputation is done by greasing palms. But I think in this instance, because you're trying to show not only your reputation of having been in this prison, but your reputation as a priest of Sigmar, rather than it being a greasing of palms as such, that I will make it, you just have to do a challenging prayer test.
Cool.
Awesome. Done.
Right.
So, you have succeeded. You will have +1 standing for the remainder of this endeavour.
Cool.
With the following individuals. Let me write down that you've succeeded. Reputation. Right. So, devout Sigmarites.
Yep.
Other priests.
Yep.
Fellow prisoners.
Yep.
Worshippers of Verena.
Yep. Which one's Verena?
She's the goddess of knowledge and wisdom.
Okay. Yep.
And worshippers of Mamidia, who is the goddess of war.
Yeah, cool. Oh, no, yeah.
You got it was a +3. Yeah, so it's just a standing, increases your standing by 1. So whatever you are currently, are you a silver 4, 5?
I think it's silver 3. Because it's not from the highest, so it's not my former career, does it? It's only my main one.
That is
that I am
correct,
now,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm silver 1.
Silver 1. You're a silver 2 for the remainder of this adventure, at least.
Yeah. Cool.
Alright.
Yes, I'm warrior priest, I was silver 2 anyway.
Yeah, brilliant.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. As a priest, I'm silver 2. Yeah, cool.
Cool. Alright, that is your 3 downtime activities done. So you've got a bunch of cool tattoos, and you are held in esteem by Sigmarites, Varanans, Mamidians, prisoners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So I've got all my stuff back. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. So, and all of the money that you would have had on you at the end of the last session, was just confiscated. It wasn't like
Okay.
returned to the Imperial Treasury, so you would have had all your money back as well.
Okay, cool. That's generous.
Cool. So we cut back to where we were. You have just had an ambush by a group of thugs led by this bounty hunter. You've managed to capture one of the thugs and the bounty hunter. And the last thing that you did, Wolfgang, was to stabilize one of the thug that you've captured. He was had a bleeding condition, but you performed a successful heal test and managed to heal him.
Oh, great. Okay. Yep. Cool.
I believe the intention was you wanted to interrogate these individuals, potentially find out why they were following you, why they've jumped you.
So I'm going to let Johanna probably take the lead because I, wasn't actually there. More because it might take me a bit to get into what we're doing with them. But once we're in, I'll join in as I go.
We did leave some alive, didn't we?
Yes. So there is the bounty hunter and one of the thugs are both alive and bound.
Which one looks more scared?
Definitely the thug.
Cool. Alright, well, I'm gonna go for an intimidate on him.
Yep.
To intimidate him, rather.
Make that average.
Average?
Can I help?
Sure, add +10 to that then, Steph. So, do it as if you've got advantage. And I will do...
Do I pop that on my sheet? Would it work
Yeah,
that
so
way?
if you do that, if you put one advantage on your sheet, and then roll it, that should work.
So I'm going to basically drop down to his level and go, you can tell me what you know now, or you can tell me after I've put you in a great deal of pain.
That's a critical. Let's see how Willie fares here. Oh, he actually succeeds. Not that it matters with a crit
Wow.
success. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know anything. He just approached us, and he just wanted to he just paid us money. That's all it was. We just accepted money to do the job. That's it.
You're not leaving any details out that I might be irritated by later?
Details. No. All I said. We occasionally do work for him when he's in town. That's it. We're just hired muscle. You'd have to speak to him about what's going on.
Alright, so who's him and where does he stay when he's in town?
Him is the bounty hunter who is tied up next to this guy.
Oh, they're tied up? Alright. I'm gonna replace the, go and take his gag off.
I'm gonna talk to this guy
Okay, cool.
and I'm gonna sort of kneel down to his level and just sort of go a bit quiet, just as part of the sort of thing. So get this, you're hanging out in your local town because you and your mates, they're all locals, and this fellow comes over to you and says, take some money, and I want you to attack those strangers. What? Why would you do that?
Oh, he pays for our discretion. We like. I'm not very good
What's
at
your
me.
name?
I'm not good with my words.
What's your name?
I'm Willie.
Willie. Do you have any children, Willie?
No, never found the right bird.
Maybe that's for the best at the moment then. But just imagine, how would your old man think if he knew that you were here attacking strangers?
Can you roll for me, please, a I'm trying to think what the right test would be here. What's an appropriate test for guilt?
I mean, I've got charm, I've got intimidate, gossip, haggle.
I feel like this is almost like emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm actually going to say, can you do me a bribery test?
Okay.
Easy.
Sure.
Another crit success. This will be opposed by Willie's cool. See if he can maintain his cool. Oh no, he crit fails. There we go. There we go.
He fucking
doubles my
loses
score.
it.
Just.
He's like, oh, you're right. Well, man, he was impressing, right? I should know better than this.
That's right, Willie. You should. But I'm telling you right now. I am Wolfgang Vigmar. I'm a priest of Sigmar, as are you a man of Sigmar. For from this day forward, you must be a man of Sigmar. Yes.
Yeah. You must. You're right.
Let me pray for your bravery. In Sigmar's name, at the coming of the sign of the comet in the sky, you will remember this night, and remember the wrong you have tried to do. And from this day forward, I hold you to this, that you will look out for the others of this town. And you won't seek to oppress travellers, but you'll welcome them. Because that is what makes us different from the fell creatures in the forest and the horrible beast men and the worshippers of chaos and the cultists. It is our strength of character. It is the fact that we are united together as one people through our faith, through our blood, and through our bonds, and through our families. And so this I pray. And so I stand him up and I untie him and I tell him to go.
All right, mister. Yeah, you're quite right. He does a very poor attempt at a like Sigmar's twin-tailed comet salute to you. He does it with the wrong fingers.
Yep.
Nice.
But he attempts it.
Yep.
And
no. Yep.
He sort of sniffles. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go and have a think about what I've been up to recently. And he sort of
Sigmar be with you.
walks off, shoulders slumped, head hanging low. He's got a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tip the bounty hunter's chin up with my prosthetic hand and go, if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'm gonna set the priest on you.
Make for me an intimidate check. Average again.
When I hear that, I'm gonna stretch and flex and crack my knuckles.
Yep.
So I'm helping as well.
So that will be again as if you had advantage, Steph.
No, I want to spend a point on that.
Yep, fair enough.
I want this to be good. Yeah!
Alright, let's see how he goes here. Oh dear. That's a bad fail.
He has trauma from the church. He had to sit through a lot of services.
A lot of Sunday school, yeah.
There was a lot of Sunday school.
Alright, he you know what, with that crit fail and the massive difference in your success levels, he just straight up shits himself.
Nice.
He just straight up just defecates his pants.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, because I would have been trying to look menacing because I'm not in the forgiving mood for him.
No.
That's a very different situation to corrupting who I see as the innocent folk of the Empire who are, can be persuaded by a few coins to do wrong versus the person doing the corrupting. Nah.
Right, This is a predicament.
But one of your own doing, yes.
Yeah. Well,
Surely your masters thought they'd done enough by locking us in prison. But as you can see by my markings and by the fact that we are here on this dock, we didn't keep there. We've got out of prison. And so why did you attack us so brazenly? Why would you seek to corrupt the innocent of this town with something so paltry as money?
I was hired to track down certain individuals matching some of your descriptions. Not all of you, but the others were supposed to be reckoned guilty by association.
But we were pardoned and released.
What are you referring to?
I'm just gonna kind of cut coming off there and go, let's hear your part in this before we start sharing stories.
I was hired by a witch hunter in Ubersreich.
Oh yes, which witch hunter was this?
What's his name again?
I don't remember.
Sebastian Helgen, I think his name was. Something ludicrous like that.
That sounds about
Is
right.
he still alive?
You know it, baby.
Oh god.
I thought we even got a letter from him of pardon. Like,
Obviously he holds a grudge, I don't know.
well, I know who I'm blaming for
Yeah.
what's been going on.
Have you any documentation, a letter? Was this all verbal?
Let me see. I had the. Oh, sorry. I feel woozy. I have this, and he reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out a letter, and there are several pages attached to this,
Which I can read.
which you can now read.
Amazing.
The first page is a very sort of spidery script that, even with your newfound ability to read, you are struggling to read.
Understandable.
Again,
but-
I can probably help.
The
Maybe.
second and the subsequent pages are sort of crude sketches of the likenesses of Hiker, Ulrich, Gehenna, Rain, and Helmut. And
I'll
so,
hand the letter over to Wolfgang too.
I was gonna lean over your shoulders to look at it.
Oh
probably.
yeah, sure.
and it's like, so I was hired to primarily track down this lady. And he taps the picture of Hiker, but the others were known associates, and essentially anyone who was with them is to be deemed guilty by association.
So while I've seen this and I hear he starts saying that, I've actually been pressing silver coins between the fingers of my hand.
Okay, yep.
Oh dear.
And then when he says that, I'm going to punch him with my improvised knuckle dusters,
Jesus Christ.
yelling at him about how Hiker is a hero of the Empire.
Yep.
And that his chaos worshipping master, you know, like a chaos worshipping slander and horrible.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I'd roll a cool check, but I guess I'm going to choose to fail it, right? Like, I just...
And I'm gonna let you do it.
I fail my cool in this instance.
Yeah.
And I just, yeah.
You belt him one. Alright, roll for me please a melee brawling test. It'll be unopposed.
I don't have brawling listed in there, which is silly, because I should.
Alright, well in that case just do a standard weapon skill
Is it
test.
just basic? Yeah. Just melee basic?
Yeah, I mean I guess it's an improvised weapon, so yeah, do melee basic, that's fine.
Yeah. Is it average? Challenging?
Just challenging, as if you were
challenging,
doing a normal fight, yeah.
As doing an attack, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Roll for me please a D100.
Okay.
See if you injure yourself doing this somehow.
Yeah.
56. Yeah, the next action you do will have a neg 10 penalty.
Cool. Okay.
But that's fine.
I jar my hand, punching next to his head.
Yeah, you kind of
My
overswing and you punch
Yeah.
next to him.
maybe my conscience kicks in just at the last second to make me be like, no, don't just assault a guy who's tied up.
Yeah.
I'll never truly know what stopped me, or whether I just fucked up, or whether I, pulled out at the last minute.
So he's like, oh, well, look, I'm just doing a job. I was hired to do a job. I don't ask questions. It's not my place to ask questions. You have to take that up with the witch hunters.
Are any of the witch hunters in the city at the moment?
No, the witch hunter in question is from Ubersreich.
Where do you usually send news to him? How do you usually get in touch?
Well, I'm normally based out of Altdorf, so I send him a letter from Altdorf and that makes its way south to Ubersreich from there. Normally it takes a couple of weeks to get correspondence back. It takes about a week's travel to get from Ubersreich or Altdorf to Ubersreich and then back again.
If he does write to you, I expect you to write back saying we've moved on or gone to an entirely different city. Am I understood?
Certainly, ma'am. Certainly, yeah. We have an understanding here.
Good. If we do have an understanding, you'll be left alone. I might call in a favour occasionally. If not, things will be deeply unpleasant for you.
Yeah.
And I'll feed your eyeballs to my monkey.
I kind of want George to screech
Do
on
the-
cue.
Yeah.
Do a full monkey. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see.
Yeah, of course. Yep, not a problem. Sigmar's the word. You won't hear from me again.
Good. And I'll cut his bonds. Get out.
And he picks himself up off the deck and in the
You'll
sorry
love to
state.
see it, ladies and gentlemen.
In the sorry state that he is. Whoa! Look out! A follower. What?
Heck.
Insane. I wonder who that could be.
Ah, what? Amazing.
I don't know.
Oh,
Random.
you said that in a way like you thought you knew who it was.
No. No. Not at all. You maintained your cool, good sir.
I didn't just assault him as he walked off.
Excellent.
It was
I was-
tempting, though.
Kind of hoping that you heaved him over the side into the river.
Well, I was sort of thinking I would, but that I'd break his hands or something.
That's right. You've held back.
Yeah.
You've shown restraint.
Mm.
All right. Well, he sort of awkwardly walks away with his full trousers.
Full load. Yeah.
Joseph at this point is like, is there any damage to the boat?
The hand of the way, no spokes.
Alright, I'll have a look at the boat and find out, I suppose.
You have sail or row or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got something similar to that. Let's see. I've got a type of sail difficulty.
Let's make it an average one.
Did it work?
No.
Okay, let's try that again.
Aha.
Huh.
Success.
Well,
Look, you're not that familiar with this type of boat. So you're not sure. You can't tell, and it's also at night, right? It's just
Yeah.
gone midnight. It's dark. Joseph has lit a lantern now, but it's still dark, so it's hard to tell if there is any damage to the boat. Joseph will have a look. Let me pull Joseph's character sheet up. He'll have a quick squiz and see if he can't spot anything overly concerning. He'll use his trade boat building skill, see if he can spot anything. It's also too dark for Joseph, he can't tell either. You suspect that because the guys who were trying to set fire to the boat didn't manage to get a fire going, that there might be some light charring, but other than that, the boat is probably fine. But you can't tell at this time of night.
if we want to be exactly sure, we should wait until the morning.
Yes, you're right, I think. Tell you what, now that I'm concerned, can we set a watch on the boat for the remainder of the evening, just in case that individual or some of his mates come back?
Yes, I'll take
Yeah, that'd
first
be
watch.
wise.
Perfect. I'm happy to take the last watch if you want to wake me in the small hours.
Sure thing.
Cool. So, you set a watch, unless there's anything else you want us to do, Alex?
No.
No? Alright, so a watch is set. Gehenna, you will only get half a night's sleep, so make for me a challenging endurance test to see how much, if any, hit points you get back. Cool.
Oh, that was weird.
No. Because of the broken sleep, you do not
That's
naturally
alright.
regenerate any hit points.
I can deal with that.
Alright, so the following morning, let me just get rid of these character tokens. Both you and Joseph have another look at the boat. You can do another sail test if you want. I'll get Joseph to do another trade boat building test.
I mean, we could probably both take a look. Let's see. Average or
Challenging. Again, you're not familiar with this type of boat. Nice.
there we
Well, I
go.
mean, between the two of you, you managed to assess the boat. The damage is fairly minimal. It is mostly just sort of charring. Some of the paintwork on the side has been sort of burnt off, but there's no structural damage to the boat. The boat itself is fine. You managed to catch the worst of it before things got out of control.
Excellent.
And with that, unless there's anything further you wanted to do in Weisbruck, you may push off and head on to Bögenhafen.
Excellent.
Marvellous. Well, it is a fairly uneventful trip. It takes another 4 days to get to Bögenhafen.
Right.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
It's a fairly
Not
mundane.
a salt again on the river.
Yep, it rains a little bit. It starts drying out by the sort of the end of the second day, but for the most part, it is uneventful. And we arrive at Bögenhafen. Whoa, big map. Let me zoom that out. So, does any of you have Law Reichland or Law the Empire?
I have Law Reichland.
Law Reichland. Alright.
Thought I had Law Empire, maybe. I thought we'd said... No, I've got Midland, Theology, or Midland.
Okay. You said you had Law Reichland, Steph?
Mm-hmm.
Make for me a... You're a boat person as well. Make for me an average Law Reichland test. See if you know anything about Bögenhafen.
Apparently I do.
Apparently you do. Bögenhafen is a trade hub in the sort of I guess it's the next biggest trade hub along the Bergen River, which is sort of comes off of the Reichland, off of the Reich River. So it's probably the most populated, almost populous trade hub between here and Kemperbad, and then the next probably biggest would be Ubersreich after that. So it's a smaller city than, or it's not a full size city like Ubersreich is. It's basically a large town, but despite that, its population size is probably almost as big as Ubersreich. It's just crammed into a smaller area. There is, so it says here, many a Reichlander comes to Bögenhafen in search of riches, hoping to make their fortune, little realizing that the game is rigged in favor of the wealthy merchant houses who dominate the town's economic, political, and social landscape. The town's central and mercantile districts are welcoming to visitors, especially during Schaffenfest, and anyone new to the town will struggle to walk 10 feet without someone offering sales and services.
Nice. I like sails because they're on boats.
I get it. It's good.
Yeah, thank you.
And wouldn't you know, part of the reason why Joseph agreed to take you on to Bögenhafen is that he was actually delivering a shipment of wine for Schaffenfest.
Hey,
Which-
Delightful.
Which is happening.
That sounds like my kind of fest. Can't
Yeah.
wait to do some Schaffen.
You gotta love some Schaffen. It's
Yeah, love some Schaffen.
happening today. It's a big sort of I guess it's kind of like a big market day, but with you know, sort of like attractions like fortune tellers, strongman contests. There's a you know, weird and wonderful creatures of the Empire type zoo sort of thing.
Cool.
So you arrive at this dock here. Hang on, let me just highlight it on the map. This one here. And Joseph says, right, well, I need to organise with the Stevedores Guild to get this unloaded. Why don't you head off and go and check out the Schaffenfest? I know you've got business here, obviously. But if you're needing a ride, I'll be in town for the next couple of days. So if you pop back to the dock, I can give you a ride back to to Altdorf if you so need.
Thank you.
And don't worry about paying the remainder of the fare. You more than helped pay for it with your saving my vessel from being burnt to a crisp.
It's generous of you indeed.
Well, may Bögener praise you all.
What happened?
Hello!
Hey.
That was well timed.
I've been listening for a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, we heard you sign in, yeah.
Gehenna and Wolfgang intimidated the two captives and managed to find out that they were sent by the witch hunter from Ubersreich.
even remember Cat is, so.
Yeah, you guys managed to catch
Oh, that's.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, interesting.
Yep. So the witch hunter from Ubersreich was hunting specifically Hiker, but also her known associates.
Well, I'm super mad at them, and also reckon that the witch hunter is actually a chaos worshipper who's secretly trying to bring demons down on us, because I'm still barking at that tree.
I mean, yeah, makes sense.
That's why we're in prison, right? They thought they could just shove us in prison and get away with it, but you know, I sort of was at peace from that, because I realised I could. They sort of dumped me in there thinking they weren't going to get me, but it's. Yeah.
But you've got out now.
We're out now,
revenge.
That's it.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, well, the festival is, and he points down a street. I mean, you could probably hear it in fairness, but if you head down that street, you'll find it in about 5 minutes walk.
Excellent.
And you start making your way into Bögenhafen in the direction of the Schaffenfest.
Hell yeah.
I'll put on some festival music.
Cool. Now this is where Hiker's family was from originally, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make fairly quickly for where they're meant to be, or at least, you know, as much information as I have. I'm probably going to be less distracted by the fest, but I'm sure we'll get caught up in it.
Yep.
I'm gonna be fairly distracted.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me get my notes about the festival up. Cool, so you are passing through this region here known as the Adel Ring, which is kind of like the wealthy, affluent part of town. The festival actually runs from this gate here, and it runs all along this main drag right up to where the main gate is down here.
Yeah. Right.
So all of the streets around and like spilling out into areas sort of out here, and like basically all of this area. Basically all of this area is where the festival is set up, essentially. And spilling out to outside the gates as well, so this is why you've got all these tents and whatnot outside.
As one is wont to do with festivals.
Exactly. So there's lots of people like trying to get your attention. Someone, Johanna, someone says, "Oh, fine silks, milady. Would you like some fine silks? Only 2 gold coins a yard."
Perhaps later.
And then to Leon, someone says, How about you, sir? Some fresh new boots. New boots that would look much nicer than these scruffy ones you've got on your feet there. 14 shillings for a new pair of boots.
Did we gain any money at any point?
No. Not recently.
No, thank you. I cannot afford.
And then another individual who is appears to be begging comes up to you, Wolfgang, and says, "Please, please, brother Sigmar, would you spare a coin for a poor waif such as myself?"
I have. Do I reckon he's bullshitting, or do I reckon he's real?
Give me an intuition test, average. Yeah, you reckon he's legit.
Okay. Then I just give him a big fat silver shilling and tell him to,
Cool.
wish him well. And I actually say, look, I said this. Please allow me to bless you.
Oh, he feels so blessed.
I'm actually going to do a blessing.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do one of my things as well.
Yep.
Sorry, it's been a little while. I don't remember which I can do. Let's go with. Where are they? Blessing of protection.
Sure. What was that one do again?
Enemies make an average willpower test to attack your target as shame wells within for considering violence. If they fail, they must choose a different target or a different action.
Okay. Yeah.
Blessings are meant to be subtle. They're not big explosive
exactly.
things, but it's technically does go off with a divine effect.
Yeah. Sigma praise, Mr. Sigma praise indeed, and he runs off into the crowd. And you, with that intuition test you rolled before, about 5 minutes later, you notice that the beggar is definitely tailing you.
Okay.
Like a ways away in the crowd, but definitely following you.
Sure.
Um,
That's fine.
You come across a makeshift wrestling ring. There's a man wearing a garish outfit with a top hat and a big sort of ringmaster's jacket on, and he is proclaiming loudly to all and sundry who are in the area, "Step right this way and make yourself 2 gold crowns. That's right, 2 crowns for no more than 2-3 minutes of mild exertion. All you need to do is last 3 minutes in the ring with my champion over here." And he gestures to a big, muscled, oiled individual who's sitting on the opposite side of the ring to him. 2 crowns if you last 3 minutes. 4 if you defeat the champion within that time. You there, you look fast on your feet. Do you think you could stand for 3 minutes? If not, that's not long. What about you? What about you over there? And he's just pointing to random individuals. Come along. It's 2 shilling investment.
I was about to raise my hand, and then he said 2 shilling investment, and I curled my finger back down.
Oh.
Someone behind you, Leon, calls out, "Oliver, go!" and pushes you hard in the back.
Jesus Christ.
I will attempt to not stumble.
Cool. I guess make a athletics check. Cool. You kind of stumble forward a bit. You don't fall over, but you do sort of make a bit of a fool of yourself a little bit. There's some jeering laughs from the crowd, and the ringmaster goes, "A volunteer. Perfect. Step right this way, young man. You look strapping, young lad." And he sort of grabs your arms and squeezes a bit. This, you'll be a fine opponent. Now, if I could just have those, that's 2 shillings investment, my good sir.
I'm gonna step in there as well, and as he's kind of going and match the bluster.
Yeah.
Right. And go, of course you can. You've not heard of. I'm so sorry. What is your character's name again? Leon, that's right. Yeah. You've not heard of Leon from the north. One of the mighty knights who serves in the court of Middenland. And you would so easily challenge him for a measly 2 shillings for 2 gold, of course. Ah, by the might of Sigmar and the might of the Empire, I'm sure his strength. So that's a blessing of strength I'm putting on him.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna throw 2 shillings at the guy. I'm gonna pay his entry fee.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, sorry, hang on. So I've got battle, courage, hardiness, might, protection. So hang on, battle is that.
Increases your weapon
hardiness.
skill, I think.
Yeah, so battle puts his weapon skill. A target of 6 rounds. Now that's an astounding success plus 6, right? So I can increase its effectiveness, I believe, for every plus 2 success levels. So 1, 3. So I guess I can change the. I'm going to increase the duration, basically.
Yeah, sounds good.
And it does what?
It gives you plus 10 weapon skill.
Okay. Hopefully that's useful and it's not just strength.
Yeah.
I'm a weak
I
man.
presume it's some kind of wrestling, right? But I don't know.
Alright, so, he's like, right, step right up, step right up, step right up. The rules are very simple. This is it's a wrestling match, essentially. So, you've got to, try and take the other person out. No weapons, no weapons. So, my good man, I'll have to ask you to, unburden yourself of your arms and armor.
I will do as such.
I'll look after them and I'll sit George on top of the pile, looking bitey.
Whilst you're disarming yourself, can you make for me, please, a average intuition test? Looking specifically at the champion himself.
Challenging, did you say?
Average.
Oh, I can't. Oh, well, that's a 98 anyway.
Oof. Cool. He looks pretty tough.
I've been in jail for 2 years, so. But not hitting the gym because I've been stuck in a room. So, this should go well.
Is it? I mean, could I make an intuition test seeing the champion as well?
Yeah, by all means. Also average. Cool. The closer inspection of him, he's knackered. He's been doing this all day. This is sort of, I would say, probably early afternoon.
Yeah.
So he's been doing this since sunup. He's absolutely knackered. He's doing a good job of hiding it, but you can see the bags under his eyes. You can see the sort of glazed expression. He's knackered.
He is pretty cooked. Yeah, cool. I'm not trying to retcon it too much, but like, would toughness or weapon skill make more sense?
Weapon skill, definitely.
Yeah, because it's a fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not trying to resist. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's weapon skills, the blessing that I've done. Blessing of battle in Sigmar's name.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to come in again and sort of like keep G'ing Leon up, but I noticed that and said, look, see, you had a good rest on the boat, and he must have been fighting people all day. So I think he even sways on his feet.
Have we had a rest at all since the fight?
Yeah, you, all of you would be at full health again now. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we had about 3 days. We had like the fight, and then we had about 3 days on the boat.
Okay,
where it was
cool.
fine and safe.
Cool.
Yeah.
So with this, Steve, does Leon have melee brawling? No. Do you want to
Just
just
a pain.
do you want to add that in as a skill just for this?
Done.
Cool. Melee brawling is the only type of attack you can do.
Yep.
It's a wrestling match. Obviously, you can opt to dodge. That's fine. You can use any of your other skills to attempt to gain advantage, either by intimidation or cool or toughness, whatever you. If you can justify it to me, and you pass the necessary test, you can build up advantage doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wrestling matches, as you're probably aware, is a lot more showmanship than necessarily actually whacking each other. So, the ringmaster, once you show that you are ready and good to go,
Yep. Okay. Great
he
stuff.
he says, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, the fight you've been waiting for, the fight you've been waiting for all day, Crusher, Bögen, the champion of Schaffenfest, versus," and he says, "What was your name again, sir?"
Leon, prisoner
Seems to be happening.
145.
Oh.
Prisoner 145, all the way from the frozen north.
It's just some brutal death metal that starts just
Yeah.
echoing in the background from somewhere.
Yeah.
Just the blast beats come out of somewhere.
And he pulls a handkerchief out of his top pocket, and he says, "When this handkerchief touches the ground, the fight commences. Are you both ready? You both understand the rules?"
I nod.
Crusher sort of cracks his neck. "All right, and we're off." And he throws the handkerchief into the air. It sort of flutters down to the ground. And I'll get you to roll initiative, Steve.
Yep.
Cool. You get to go first.
Okay. So, I'll go in to try and lock him up.
Yep.
Are we? It's not like amateur wrestling. It's like WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'll maybe instead I'll go up and try and give him a big backhand shot.
Yep. Sounds good. Do for me, obviously, a melee brawling test. Have you added in the +10 to your weapons skill?
Yes.
Cool. Yep.
I did it as a modifier.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it last so it lasts for 6 rounds normally.
Yep.
I'm going to make it last for 18 rounds, I guess.
Sounds great.
Let's not open up with a failure, or at least try to not
To
open
get-
up
to
with
get
a
a-
failure.
A better failure, if possible. Cool.
Or
Oh, I just read hit cancel instead of submit. That's awkward. How embarrassing. Submit. Okay, he manages to dodge, if you will, but your cut does catch him. Where did you hit him? It would have been 56, 65, would have been in the body. So you catch him as he sort of steps to the side. You catch him in the ribs. So that is 3 plus your strength bonus. What's your strength bonus, Leon?
3.
3, so that is 6 damage. Crusher can soak a bit of that. Cool. He is fine. So he's now on that. Alright. He sort of, having taken that blow, he sort of steps back a bit, and he's gonna sort of start using some light footwork and start sort of moving around you.
Yep.
He's going to try and intuit. You get a point of advantage, by the way. He's going to try and intuit to see whether or not he thinks you are as tough as you look, or as that first blow was. Cool. He gets a bit of an insight into you, and he will gain a point of advantage as well.
Oh.
Next round.
Alright.
Leon, you're up.
This time This time I'm gonna try and lock him up, and
Yep.
I'm gonna use my acute sense feel to look for a weak point,
Yep.
like a pressure point in his body.
Sure.
You'll love to see it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold up. We just got another follower.
Wild.
Another follow.
What?
Welcome followers.
Welcome followers to the Coven Throne? I don't know. Welcome to
Yeah,
something.
sure.
That's
Welcome to the Black
that's
Parade.
great.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that'll do it.
That works. And Luke's here. Hello, Luke.
Also, ask him how he pronounces that.
He says hello.
How do you pronounce your fucking Instagram name?
I don't know if you heard Lisa, but Lisa wants to know how you pronounce your Instagram handle.
What?
Anyway, whilst he's typing that in chat, we'll come back.
So I failed.
Failed that, that's fine, but you've gone in to do...
I mean, I used a Q sense feel, but I did a perception roll, but I don't know if actually I should have. No, I think about it.
That's probably the
'Cause
best type of roll to do, in fairness.
Yeah.
I feel like most sort of acute sense tests, perception is the right way to go.
Yep.
So you were also attempting to do like a grapple? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I was trying. Yeah. So
Alright, well,
my idea was that I was grappling him and then looking, like, trying to find a weakness while I was holding onto him. But I didn't think about the fact I probably need to actually grapple him first.
sure. So, do for me a melee brawling test. If you succeed and he fails, you then will need to do an opposed strength test to see if he is grappled or not.
It didn't add my advantage because I didn't use a weapon, but it should be one success.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, he beat me.
He definitely pipped you there. He's you've gone in for the grapple and he has definitely sidestepped you there.
It's too slippery.
He's all greased up, so he's slipped out of your grasp. He's like, okay, this guy's definitely got some moves. He's trying to hold me down. I'm gonna do a light jab, see what happens. So he's gonna go in for a bit of a left hook.
Jesus. Oh,
Ho hoi! Crit success.
Amazing.
Boom. Point of advantage to you, and he loses all of his
I
advantage.
lost one before though, and so I've gained that one back
Yep.
because he beat me before. All right. How does that one work? Oh. Says I have reversal. Did he have 2 advantage?
He did have 2 advantage, yes.
I have reversal, so if I win an opposed melee test, instead of gaining 1 advantage, you may take all your opponent's current advantage.
Do it.
If you do this, you do not cause any damage, but I was blocking, so...
That's fine, yeah.
Yep. Alright, I might... what am I gonna go for? Well, he's just gone in for a jab, so I've dodged to the side. I'm gonna give him a shot in the kidneys kind of area.
Yep.
Oh, actually, I think this will work.
Nice. He's going to attempt to dodge this. Oh dear. 3 plus 3, that is another 6.
And I remembered as well, I have Strike Mighty Blow.
So actually another 1.
Yeah.
Cool, so that's 7. He takes another that amount of damage. Alright, he's like, alright, okay. This is how we're playing it. And he decides to go in for a bit of a leg sweep to try and like take you off your feet. So he's gonna do it says fists, but that's because that's the only attack I've got set up for him.
Yeah. That's all I've got. I just set up as well. Oh, crit. Not looking good. I don't think it's gonna matter, but...
Oh, he's got the crit though, so
Yeah, he wins.
he's gotcha. He's gotcha
I
there.
needed
That is
2
rough.
more numbers lower.
How many fucking
That is
gets?
rough.
I don't take
Right.
damage. I don't think.
No.
Let's
Apparently
see.
Emotional.
He what is that? That is 4 plus 5 is 9. But mine it's -4 because you've. So it's actually only
I
1.
take 1. Yeah.
But that will be absorbed by your toughness, no doubt. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But he also uses reversal on you and takes all of your advantage.
Which is 3.
Yep.
That's rough.
Or actually, tell a lie. It's an additional 2 points of damage because he has dirty fighting.
Okay. So then that would be 3 damage.
Yep. Which I think.
Which I block.
Yeah, you still soak that. Yeah. Cool. Then it's back to you again.
He's taken one of my legs out from under me. I'll do one of those. Try and do one of those leg takedowns where you like put your leg on either side of their legs and twist.
Yep.
Makes them fall to the ground. That's the plan anyway.
Nice. He will attempt to dodge this again. Defender wins in that case.
Yeah.
He manages to sidestep your legs.
Oh, actually, I'll use one more fate point to make that 3 success levels. Or
Fortune.
point.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Easy.
So is this guy tired or not?
Yeah, he's tired. He's just he's a good wrestler.
Good at
He's
fighting.
all.
Yeah,
He's bounced back.
yeah.
All right. So that is a success. So you have caught his legs. What is that? That is 1 plus 3, 4.
No damage. I took all of his advantage.
Oh, okay. You've just done that. Cool.
Yeah.
So he's back down to 0 advantage, but he's on his ass. So I assume you've tripped him essentially.
Yeah. Well, we're both on our ass.
Yep. He is going to use. He's going to use a basic dexterity test to sort of do like a roll backwards and get out of the way and back on his feet.
Like a kick up.
Yep. He overextends his roll and he sort of smacks into the side of the wrestling ring.
Yeah. Not good. I'm gonna scramble over seeing this and try and get into ground and pound.
Yep. Oh. Probably not much hope of escaping this one. The proletariat elbow, as Lucas called it.
Amazing.
I like my description of my attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a punch.
Oh
Ooh.
no!
I know.
Bad time.
That's terrible.
That is 11 plus 3, 14 damage. That is a big old whack. And he can only soak so much of that. So that puts him down to... Alright, now he's getting a bit frothy. He pushes you off of him. He'll do... yeah, he's going to try and push you off of him with a melee attack here. Oh dear, it's not looking promising. Oh, yep, you've definitely got him pinned, and now it's
Nice.
he's down.
Max advantage, and I'm just going to continue pummeling until they call it.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh dear.
He has a chance here.
He does have a chance. He's going to try and defend here with his fists. I think this time. He gets you. And he's
Yeah,
gonna
my roll is terrible.
and he's going to use reversal.
Yeah, it's
Take all your
bad
advantage.
Yeah.
5 advantage, baby. All right. He manages to push you off of him. He gets up, and he goes to dive on you, to pin you to the ground.
You're like a spear tackle.
Like a spear tackle, exactly.
Come on, crit success. No.
No, dear. That's not good. That is 13 damage.
Far out. Can't take any more of those.
I'm enjoying the running commentary from Luke here. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. He has said here,
Where's this?
in the stream chat,
Oh, okay, right.
Steve's character is a luchador, or a luchador. He called your diving punch attack that you were speaking about before the proletariat's elbow,
That's great.
and said that this match is brought to you by Maker's Mark for a dirty swamp taste, which is great.
That's excellent.
How does this work?
All right, so how many hit points are you on?
9
Okay, cool.
out of 18. He did half my health in that.
Yeah, that was a big whack.
Alright. Well, I gotta try and break free, so maybe an elbow to the head will do it.
Yep. Strong. It's strong. He's gonna try.
Yeah,
He's gonna try and dodge.
you have to roll pretty.
Oh, that's a big dodge.
Yeah.
He's targeting him with 103. It's gonna be.
Yes,
I
it's
think-
very hard for me to get it without a crit.
All right. He's going to try and do a blow to the kidneys whilst you're down. In fairness, you only because there was only +3 success levels there. If you'd managed to get higher than that, you would have, or equal to, you would have won it.
Yeah, but I did not.
Sadly,
I
so
would
that,
have had to roll like 23 or lower.
yeah. So that is another 8. Hang on, 5
Yeah.
plus. Yes, 8 damage.
Yeah.
And then it's you again.
All I can do is try and bridge out. Nah. Unless he rolls 100.
Unless he crit fails here. Anything's
The
possible.
only way is to roll 100.
Nope. No, because if he rolls a 96 to 100, that's still a crit fail.
Oh, it's at 96 to 100.
96 to 100 is a crit fail, no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, he manages to keep you pinned.
Yeah. Not looking good for the good guy.
How many wounds do you want left?
5.
Cool. Okay. He's gonna go for a blow in the same kidney he punched last time. Oof. The big oof.
Yeah. No. I'm out.
He's out. Cool. You get knocked out.
Hopefully he's not on 1 life. Because I messed up and didn't add strike mighty blow to one of my hits.
No, he's you got him down to about half health, but he's all good after that.
So the being tired wasn't a level of fatigue, it was just he looks tired.
He just looks tired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's all right. With a splash of cold water after a moment or two, you are brought back round. You'll have a level of fatigue, Steve.
Okay.
For the remainder of until you get a good night's rest. But over the next couple of hours, you will slowly regain your hit points. Like, yeah, you're not unconscious, right? You're not going to be walking around on 0 hit
Yeah.
points. You were in essentially a charity wrestling match. You're just a bit bruised. You'll be fine. So you guys continue along. Sorry?
I just pick up. Once I'm woken up, I just like pick up my gear and walk off.
The wrestler you are facing gives you a very firm clap on the back and said, "Yeah, it's a good fight, mate. Well, good. You had some good moves there."
I slap his hand away and I walk off.
All right, fair enough. And he goes back over to his corner of the ring and accepts an ale from someone who passes it to him. All right. Do you continue wandering through the remainder of the festival?
I mean, yeah, I guess we do.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So if we look on the map. So the boxing ring was sorry, this here on the map. This one here. If I can ping it, if you're gonna allow me to ping it. So you've been sort of swept up into the whole environment of the festival. So you've ended up out there. Over in sort of this area, as you start wandering back in to head back into the town proper, you walk through a bit of a square, and you see a set of stocks with two sets of stocks. One is currently empty, and the second one has a dwarf in it.
Is it a dwarf we know?
Probably not, but if you want to inspect further, you can try and find out.
Yeah, we'll go over closer. Or at least I will.
So, as you get closer, you can read that there is a sign hung underneath them that says "Drunkard and Vagrant." And there's lots of... he's covered in lots of rotten fruit and vegetables that have been thrown at him by, various children whilst he's been in the stocks. And as you approach him, he looks up at you, and through a sort of inebriated state, he'll be like, "Can any of you pay for my fine? I can't pay for my fine to get out of these here stocks. If any of you can pay for my fine, I'll be indebted to you for the rest of my life. I'll take an oath, a blood oath if I have to thank you for your kindnesses."
And how much was the fine? And if I might ask, what was it for?
The fine is 2 shillings. That's all it is. 2 shillings.
And what was it for?
I was well, let's see now. I was locked up for any sort of belches, and I was locked up for I couldn't afford to pay for my last drink, so I took it and ran.
And how long have you been locked up in the stocks?
I've been here all morning. Since he kind of squints and looks up where the sun is. I've been here for a good 3-4 ours.
And yet, as a noble dwarf, your hardiness can't endure this, can it?
And he looks at you
You're
through
not
these.
tough enough to like, surely the oath you would offer if I was to pay you, if any of us were to pay for this, you wouldn't owe us an oath, you'd owe the bar that you robbed.
He looks at you with these bloodshot, alcohol glazed eyes, and he's like, "You know a lot about dwarven law for an ungie."
I'm a priest of Sigmar. I make it my business to know lots about dwarven law. Wouldn't Elric be with us as well, kind of, as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I've travelled with the Dawi. In fact, I've been into old ancient holds of theirs. We fought greenskins on both behalf.
Hey, greenskins, and then that sort of rises him a little bit. He's like, you fought greenskins against the Dawi.
With the Dawi, yeah.
Hey, with the Dawi. Hey. Well, that's grand. You're definitely a dwarf friend then. He points at you with his arm, obviously, like stuck in the stockade.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a dwarf friend. Hey. Well, surely then you can find it in your heart to spare the coin to let me out.
Well, you haven't answered my question.
What was the question again?
Yeah, sorry. The point I'm making is that if one of us was to pay your fine, it wouldn't be to us that you owe an oath. It'd be to the store that you've robbed. It'd be to the tavern that you've stolen drink from.
Aye.
And if you can't put up with a couple of hours, then of just punishment, then I think the other dwarves, the other Dawi that we've worked with would be ashamed.
And Ulrich at this point chimes in with an aye. You bring shame upon all dwarves, lad. And the dwarf is like, you're right. I'm not deserving of your pity. Go on, off with you. Leave me to my shame.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
He said it.
So, you make your way back into the town proper. You're trying to find Hiker's family, obviously. Knowing that Hiker, like from the papers that you have read through, you know that Hiker's family is of the nobility.
Oh, okay.
She was a von Schwartz before she was disowned by her family.
Yep.
So, with Johanna's knowledge of Bögenhafen, she suggests that the Adel Ring will be where you're most likely to find the von Schwartzes, being the affluent part of town.
Sure.
So, I assume you make your way over there?
That's it.
Alright. The Adel Ring, let me get my notes up for what that looks like. So it is obviously a big ring surrounding a central garden.
Cool.
Though the mansions of the great and the good of the town form the three sides of the ring. The fourth is composed even of terraced townhouses where wealthy merchants and artisans and maybe sort of minor nobility reside. All of the doors and gates have names or family crests showing who lives there. and some of them are quite ostentatious, others are somewhat more subdued. And you would notice, I'm not even going to make you roll for this, that there is a greater than average watch presence here.
Yeah.
There appears to be at least 2 patrols who are just doing a full circuit, and as you make your way in, one passes you, and you can see in the distance on the other side of the ring another patrol is coming around the backside there as well.
Yeah. Cool, makes sense.
Turn this down as you're now slightly further away from the festival.
Mm-hmm. That's where the posh people live, so the cops turn up quicker.
Yeah, exactly right. So, you're trying to find the von Schwartzes. I'll get you to make for me a perception check. Anyone who can read, so just the 2 of you. See if you can't find their gate or door.
Okay.
It'll be challenging because obviously you don't know this town.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Steph? Johanna?
Oh, yep, sorry.
A challenging perception test. Nice. So Ulrich's definitely started off on the wrong foot. Maybe one of the family crests, I don't know, it set off some of the buzzing in your head. You were like, ooh. The angle of the leg comes down like that, forms an N, forms an N, forms an N. Something like that, you know. Something in one of the family heraldry sort of catches your eye, and you sort of just get entranced by it for a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas Johanna takes a walk past 2 houses in the opposite direction and goes, pretty sure it's this one.
Yeah. Ah, so it is.
This is one of the townhouses rather than one of the big mansions, but it's a fairly well-to-do looking townhouse. It's not compared to some of the other townhouses that neighbour it. It is quite quite well-to-do.
Yeah.
So you go through the gate. It's less of a big, imposing, grand 2-door gate and more of a single sort of like garden fence gate type thing.
Yeah.
Like the ironwork is impressive, but it's it's just a single gate with a simple latch that you can let yourself in through.
Sure.
And you make your way up to the door through
Sure.
some rather immaculately trimmed gardens.
Of course.
And I assume you knock.
I do.
After a moment, a liveried servant comes up and says, if you're part of the festival, then you have gone wrong and turned about. If you head back out that way and take a left, you will make your way to the Schaffenfest. We are not open for business.
Thank you, and blessings of Sigmar upon you, sir. I am brother Wolfgang Vigmar, formerly of the Order of the Silver Hammer, priest of Sigmar. I come bearing news of Eike von Schwartz, a former close companion and confidant of mine, and I swore an oath that I would bring news of her heroism and tragic demise to her family.
Mistress Hiker is...
Come with the information of the Grey Wizards.
Mistress Hiker is dead.
Indeed.
The posh accent drops for a second there when he says that. And Sigmar Preserver, and hopefully she finds rest in Moore's embrace.
Indeed. So
Hey,
you remember her-
No, that's not happening.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Not very restful.
Probably not.
Just sure.
Yeah.
And he sort of shakes himself and tries to recompose himself. And the accent comes back and he says, if you would follow me, I will find Lord and Lady von Schwartz to speak with you. And he leads you through into a sitting room.
Thank you.
He looks visibly shaken by the news.
Yeah. Okay. Now I forget. Did I know much of the whole, like, they didn't really?
You would have so this wasn't made apparent, but it would have been in the dossier of information that you received from the Great College at some point during your incarceration. So
Yeah, okay.
you would have read that if not during the couple of days before you left Altdorf, during your voyage to Bögenhafen, you would have read through the dossier. So you would have found that the reason that Heike was essentially given up to the colleges is that, much like many of the noble families of the Empire, they are somewhat fearful of magic. Magic has only really been a thing for the last few hundred years. So when it was discovered that Heike had magical talent, they were like, "Oh, we want no part of this. We'll just give her to the colleges of magic and sort of wash our hands of it," type thing. Yeah.
They, from what I understand, they basically had to give Hike to the college, to a college, because like otherwise she'd be unsanctioned. But they didn't have to disown her.
No.
Yeah.
That was less cool.
Yeah. Cool, but obviously there are people associated with the family that they have a good relationship about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after a couple of minutes, the Lord and Lady of the house arrive. They look quite similar to Heike, particularly Lady von Schwartz has very similar colouring, quite pale, and the sort of ash blonde hair. Not quite as androgynous looking as Heike was.
Yeah.
But you can definitely see like strong familial links between, particularly her mother, but also her father as well.
Yeah.
He's a bit swarthier by comparison, but he has the same colour eyes that Heike had.
Yeah.
They greet you.
Yep.
Accept whatever bows and curtsies you may or may not have done.
Yeah.
And
I'll sort of respectfully sort of bow my head a bit. Their nobility, I've got some knowledge of this stuff, but I'm also just I go through the usual introductions and who I am and give Sigmar's greetings to them in the name of the Empire and hope they're peaceful. And I said, look, I understand from my research that you may not have given a lot of thought to your daughter Heike, and then just explain that she was a traveling companion of ours for many years. Most of my friends here have known her for even longer than I did.
Yep.
But even in the brief time that I knew her, we were very close. Confidence. We were both champions of Sigmar, and that she has been named a hero of Midland and a hero of the Empire for her actions in helping to fell an evil necromancer. I don't mention the
being sent to the Chaos Realms.
The whole being stuck in the Crystal Labyrinth.
Yeah. You watch.
I leave it quite vague. Like, I don't actually even explicitly say that she's dead.
Yeah.
But I just say, look, I've sort of come here with sad news, and that she's been named. Like, I just sort of say everything but the fact that she's dead, effectively.
She, so, Lord von Schwartz is, fairly tight-lipped, fairly poker-faced. You can't really get a read on him.
Yep.
Lady von Schwartz, a little bit more open in her emotions. She gasps when you tell her sort of hikers, I guess, passing, without obviously explicitly saying
Well,
as
when
much.
she pieces it together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
When it's sort of like, Hiker's not here. I made an oath to the Grey Wizards. They named the thing after her.
Yep.
She's been a good companion. She's not here now. Yeah.
Yeah. She pieces it together.
Yeah.
And, you know, a single tear, you know, controlled single tear,
Yeah.
passes from one of her eyes. And Lord von Schwartz sort of pats his wife's hand in a sort of a
Patronising way.
vaguely patronising.
And
Hard to tell if it's
attempt to-
patronising or if it's affectation. You can't tell,
Yeah.
considering how he's playing his cards very close to his chest.
Yeah.
And he says in a somewhat clipped manner, "Thank you for bringing news of Hiker's actions."
Heroism. I offer to try and help him finish the sentence.
He nods at your word, but he doesn't correct himself.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I can infer a bit
Yeah.
from that.
I thank you also for taking the time to come and tell us of this news in person. That is unexpected.
Imagine it would-
I would like to offer you something as recompense for your going out of your way to inform us of this news. And he gets up and leaves the room temporarily. And whilst he's out, Lady von Schwartz sort of looks to mostly at you, Wolfgang, because you've been relaying the story, but
Yeah,
also at Johanna, and just says, "Did she suffer?" And I'm going to need you guys to make for me.
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. So
It's
I'm
like,
going.
I don't know.
I'm going to need you to make for me either a gossip test
Yeah.
or maybe a charm test. Whichever you prefer, whichever you've got a higher score in, to try and comfort. Give her the answer that you think is most comforting to her.
Difficulty.
It was going to be challenging, yeah.
Yeah.
I went for cool more because
Oh no.
I was
Ooh.
in the Crystal Maze as well, right?
Yeah.
Johanna just
I-
bursts into tears.
Oh, dear.
Um,
Alright.
What does
I'm-
what does Wolfgang do then?
I'm just trying to think of how he would react.
Do you think his tick would go off, so he starts like just tapping his foot?
Yeah,
I just say-
like I'd get up and start pacing around the room and start getting a bit like speaking a bit faster, and I'd start sort of half speaking to myself.
Yeah.
Well, it is hard to say if one's soul what really truly is suffering, is it not? If they lived in this mortal realm and then they are thrust into the maze, into the endless corridors of shining back on yourself and the reflections and the reflections and the reflections and the reflections and the reflections. And then of course,
Oh no.
even if you get to come back, they see you again, and there is someone who's plotting against us. But I think it is possibly even if you have exposed the truth of my feeling in this, my lady, if you forgive me, but I even suggest that perhaps she is not even gone. She is not dead, but she is stuck in the maze and still fights yet for Sigmar.
I have a feeling she's not particularly competent.
She looks somewhat more aghast. And what were you gonna do, Leon? Sorry.
I was gonna say, well, she's dead. At least this life's over. Like, I'm just so depressed. I'm just like, don't give a shit about anything right now.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh,
He's becoming emo.
God. Crawling in his skin. It is the Black Parade, oh no.
Hanging out with Ulrich the whole time in prison, I get that.
So
And
he.
then the first fight, I almost die. And this first time I get into a fist fight with someone, I lose. I'm just like, no, I'm useless.
Oh, God.
So she seems somewhat shocked and horrified by your responses.
Yeah,
But-
understandable.
By this point, Lord von Schwartz walks back into the room, and he takes one look at his wife and says, "What have you been saying to her in my absence?"
In my defense, I was just crying.
But, after my outburst, let me just see if I can. Yeah, I will regain my cool, and I will go with. So I regain my cool. I stop pacing and frantically ranting, but I just sort of turn to him and attempt like a calm confidence, but I think it just comes across as like steely aggression.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the
Oh,
truth.
no.
Well, I thank you for this news, and as sad as it is, I do appreciate you making the effort. And he presses a coin purse into your hand, Wolfgang, and says, and then sort of in the same motion, sort of puts a hand on your back to sort of like guide you out.
Yeah, sure.
And I really
No,
must insist. We have much to discuss. Thank you again, and he's very much just sort of sweeping the lot of you out as quickly
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
And
Just-
Sigmar's blessings upon you all.
Like, and I do a full suite of twin tail comets and hammers and such.
You're probably part way through the second one when the door closes rather abruptly in
Yeah,
your
I
face.
can imagine. Yeah.
But I don't know if any of you guys had that as a short-term goal to go and inform Hiker's family of her demise.
It was actually my long-term goal.
Oh, there you go. Well done. You've succeeded.
That's it. Yeah.
So you'll be able to comfortably add 500 XP.
Boom.
Was that a party goal for anyone? I'm sure it was. I feel like it would have been.
Not for me. I didn't have a long-term goal. I don't even have a short-term party goal either. Or it was short-term was an audience with the Emperor, but I think I already got the XP for that.
Yeah. Interesting. I really would have thought that would have been a party goal for you guys.
I don't think we ever discussed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does make sense. I feel like, I'm going to treat it as if it were your short-term party goal. And it's just taken a bit longer because you were in prison for 2 years. So, you can also get 50 XP each for completing that.
I know I haven't been on long, but I gotta get up at like 5 tomorrow, so I'm gonna jump off.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say we're probably not far off from finishing this session. I don't have too much left to do, so that's not a problem.
Sorry.
That's all good.
No, don't stress it.
Thanks anyway. It was good. The fight was good. I got destroyed in the end, but it was close. until I lost all my advantage.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll catch you guys next time.
Cool.
See you there.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
See ya. Alright. So yeah, I really only had one final thing to do with you guys whilst we are here in the Schaffenfest. And that is, now that you have done what you came to Bögenhafen to do, I assume you probably get swept back into the sort of festivities of the event. I would think that Johanna in particular would
Yeah.
need something to take her mind off of what just happened.
Yeah. I don't think she's ever burst into tears before.
I don't think so. She's had blood come out of her eyes.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
I don't think that counts. Cool. So what I reckon would happen is
You'll love to see it, ladies and gentlemen.
another follower. Wow. Getting all the followers in. Look out. I wonder if they're all real people or if they're bots. We'll never know.
We will never know.
Anyway, where was I? We were right. So you can, as you're wandering back through the fair, one of the stall holders catches your eye. They have a medicine stall. They're selling various tinctures and tonics and poultices and the like to heal any and all ailments. Do any of you guys have the heal skill?
I think I do.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yes.
Can you make for me, please, a challenging heal test? Strong. Strong. Cool.
She's distraught.
I'm gonna say that, given that you spent a lot of time with Lucian, who obviously was an apothecary, that you would have had +10 on that. Just a bit of additional knowledge, but even so, still not enough to
Good enough. Yeah.
to know definitively. But Steph, I would say with that failure, you would probably recognise that these look vaguely like some of the things you remember seeing Lucian make. Maybe they're alright. Do you start chatting with the lady who owns the stall, or do you just sort of keep on passing through?
Yeah, I'd probably go in for a chat.
While that's happening, I would have just checked what was in the coin purse that that I was given.
There would have been 12 gold coins, 12 gold crowns.
12 gold crowns. Holy shit. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I see that and kind of start, and
Yep.
then I tuck that like inside my robes.
Yep.
I am wearing my breastplate. I'm not wearing all my armor. I'm just wearing my breastplate like under my robes, kind of thing.
Yep. So let me get my character sheet up for this lady. Where are you? She says, hello. You fancy a potion or a tincture, maybe?
Oh, what do you specialise in?
Oh, a bit of this, a bit of that. Have you got any sort of illnesses or ailments that bothering you? Actually, her eyes sort of flash down and catches your prosthetic hand and says, I've not got anything that will grow your fingers back, unfortunately.
I'd be very surprised if you did. I
But,
think this one I'm stuck with.
I think that might be right, but the craftsmanship on that looks lovely.
Oh, thank you. It was done specially. What do you tend to sell most of here?
Whole bit of this, a bit of that. Depends on who you're asking. I sell. I could do you a healing poultice. I could do you a vitality draft. I could do you some sort of. Let's see now. What could I do for you? I've got a. You could have a bit of a juck poultice. That's pretty nasty, but you can use it for frostbite treatment if you use it correctly. Or I could do a bit of mage leaf. That would be if you do any sort of magical stuff, that's good for you. Could do you a draft of a Schlaffenkraut. That could definitely aid you to get a good night's sleep.
Sure, I'll take one of those.
Right, bit of that. It's
I think
Yeah.
I might have one myself. Or 2 of those, please.
that's what are we 20 shillings a piece then if you're after a 1 2.
It's insanely expensive.
You could try and haggle it down.
Oh, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Difficulty challenging?
Challenging. She will.
I'm sure our former travelling colleague, who was an apothecary,
I
charged
just
about
burst into
half
tears again.
Oh no.
Charged about half that with their sleeping drafts. Where's it gone?
Let's see how she does. It'll be a willpower test. I'm afraid that's just the nature of the economy at the moment, my good friends. It's
Well,
just the way of the
understandable.
beast. These ingredients are hard to come by unless you have the right knowledge and know the correct way to brew them. They can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
That's true. Well, drink it is then, and I hurry Johanna off with me.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll wave soberly as I go.
I am paying 40 shillings for 2 potions
No, God, no.
That's fair.
that out of character are almost definitely poisonous.
Oh, 100%.
No, I will say that
yeah.
potion, the Schlaffenkraut
Yeah.
draft, is
Yeah.
actually used for aiding sleep.
Okay.
So yeah, it says here a draft of an infusion of Schlaffenkraut brings on a normal sleep. For the first few hours, the chances of being woken by noise are halved.
Right.
A draft works in the same way, but it works faster and don't last as long.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you a character may resist falling asleep on a successful cool test, and you can avoid gaining the fatigued thing.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right. No potions for you then. That's fine.
No potions.
All right. You continue along, and then you make your way out to this area over here, and find yourself at. Where are we? It is Dr. Malthusius's Zacopia.
My word.
Right.
And there is a big banner which says in big handwriting, Dr. Malthusius's Zacopia, strange creatures with a K from all corners of the world with an E. The marvelous.
So it is Bill Bailey there, is it?
Yes. The marvelous, the bizarre, the disgusting, brought to you at enormous expense. No other like it in the world. And there's essentially a wagon with a flatbed
Yep.
My word.
and a number of cages.
Yep.
So, as you get there, there's a bit of a crowd forming, and in a similar get-up to the previous guy, the previous ringmaster, this gentleman is wearing, traditional, like, big hat with a feather. Not that similar to Johanna's hat, in fairness. A big ostentatious jacket and a big, big cravat and whatnot. And he's saying, roll up. In just a moment's time, you will witness the most original and astounding display of zoological curiosities ever placed on exhibition in the entire length and breadth of the Empire.
We'll hang around and watch, I guess.
I press X to doubt.
Press X to doubt.
There is that.
Alright, so, do you make your way forward through the crowd so you can get a better view?
Yeah, get to a good viewpoint.
Alright, so as you make your way through, so the first couple of cages have got, there's like a goat, a goat with horns that happen just to curve in like an slightly unusual manner, but like, you look at it a bit closer and you're like, it's a goat.
Yeah.
You as you sort of look at the goat, a dwarf walks past and wraps the cage with a sort of a big sort of stick, essentially. Says, "You'll need to step back. The show's not started yet."
Okay, it's a goat.
He sort of gives you a look. Says, "Aye." Back behind the line there, laddie.
Okay, I didn't realise there was a line. We were just called to step forwards to roll up.
And so we did.
But I say that backing up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get in an argument with an ornery animal handling dwarf.
So the you can see there's like about 3 or 4 different cages here, and one of the cages has a goblin in it.
Okay.
And it doesn't take much to see that there's definitely something up with this goblin.
Yep.
It has 3 legs.
Right.
Proper mutant goblin.
Cool.
It is looking pretty unhappy with itself.
Yep.
But as the dwarf gets closer and closer, he starts getting real edgy.
Yep.
And as the dwarf approaches his cage, he panics and yanks hard on the chain that's got it bolted to the floor of the cage, and
Yep.
the chain snaps, and he darts through a gap in the cage gate or the cage bars.
Yep.
Straight at you guys.
Great. I swing. I like go for my hammer at my belt and just try and stave its head in.
Sure.
My doom is literally about like beware the green skinned foe.
Yeah.
If it was going to fall over and embarrass itself, I would have just laughed uproariously.
Okay. Let me get the goblin up. Please tell me I did do a sheet up for him. Okay, let's see how he goes. Curses. Well, you wallop him.
Yep.
And he hits the deck, and the dwarf swoops in and says, "I'll take him from here, laddie."
Of course.
And scoops the goblin up,
Yep.
deposits him back in the cage.
Excellent. Where he belongs.
the ring keeper, or zoo master, whatever you wish to call him,
Yeah.
he says, thank you for catching my prized exhibition. Here, please, and he gives you, Wolfgang, and you, Johanna, because you happen to be next to him, all four of you. He presses a shilling into each of your hands. Thank you. Please.
You're very welcome.
No need to pay to watch today's performance. Just on the house. Thank you again.
I think you were today's performance.
There you go.
So you can add a shilling to your character sheets. Once the goblin is safely back in his cage, and the dwarf goes around and starts collecting the 1 shilling fare from everyone for admission.
Yeah.
Skips you guys, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Malthusius climbs onto an overturned box, does a quick sort of look around the gathered crowd to see if he can see anything out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Winks at Johanna, and then begins his spiel. Welcome to Dr. Malthusius' Zootopia. You, madam, have you seen any of these horrors before in your life? And before the lady he gestures to has the chance to reply, he says, "Of course you haven't. You've never seen any of these things before. These creatures and oddities have been scavenged from all corners of the Empire at great expense, let me tell you, great
I
expense.
reckon you've seen it great before.
And hardship." He ignores you. He ignores you hard.
I say to one of our group.
Yeah.
A bit louder than I probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but not uninterrupted.
no. And he says, "Let us start with this. From the furthest corners of the Empire, the horrendously hairy horror of Hockland." And Grunny wheels forward. Grunny, the dwarf, wheels forward a cage, which just has some type of ape in it. In real life, you would probably think it's some sort of like orangutan.
Sure.
That's, I guess, has been imported from Lustria, maybe.
Yeah.
Far End. And then the dastardly one-eyed dog of Die Stuff, and it's a dog with one eye.
Okay.
I mean,
Is it missing an eye, or is
No,
it
no.
like has got a mutated one eye?
One eye, right in the center of its forehead.
Okay. All right, that's a bit. Ooh.
The immeasurable maw of the Middle Mountains, and the dwarf wheels forward a squig in a cage, and quite a
Okay.
small squig at that.
ooh.
Yeah.
And the ghastly three-legged goblin of the Grissenwald. And as the dwarf brings forward the goblin turns and ducks the swift blow that the dwarf tries to land at it, bites the dwarf's hand, and then slips out the cage out the back and is off. He goes through a slit in the back of the tent and disappears.
I mean,
That's a slippery goblin.
it sure is.
And I mean, presumably this causes some kind of ruckus.
Yes,
hope he
the
doesn't keep
Malthusius is like, after him! And the dwarf runs after him, and any nearby who show a vague interest, I would assume yourself, Wolfgang, would probably also give chase.
Absolutely.
And you run around the back of the tent, and find that the tent sort of backed up next to the town wall.
Yep.
And there's a small hole in the town wall, definitely too small for a human to crawl through, and
Perfectly sized for a three-legged goblin.
exactly, and it is just
Yep.
zipped into that, and you're like, there's no chance of finding it there.
There's no way.
Like, what's on the other side of the wall?
The town wall, it just leads into the town proper. There might be entrances into the sewers from there. But you're essentially here-ish, so it just leads into the town proper from there.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Well, I guess we just found our new short-term party goal.
Find the fucking goblin.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking touching it.
After a couple of minutes, watch patrol turns up.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been a bit of a ruckus, so one of the watch sergeants goes, all right, what's going on here then? And Malthusius is all showmanship and bluster, and is like, it is nothing, my good watch officer, nothing at all. Just one of our exhibitors escaped. It's only a goblin, of course, only a goblin. I'm sure, perfectly legal, my good sirs, perfectly legal. I'm sure we can find some excellent individuals.
Perfectly legal one
You
more
said
time.
that quite a lot. Yeah.
I'm sure we can find some individuals who might be able to to apprehend this goblin.
Of course, nothing would give me a greater pleasure than to bring a vile greenskin to its
Face
demise.
first into
Mate, if I can kill like an Oracle War boss, then I can deal with a three-legged goblin.
You can 100% deal with a three-legged goblin.
I mean,
So,
the ones that
I
you
nearly dealt with it
expect
just
to
before.
leave.
But also, that would be amazing, right? If it manages to get the jump on me and kills me, that's even funnier.
That would be
I mean,
hilarious.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
That would be.
So, the between Methusius's like exuberant spiel as to like what's happened and the occasional snide remarks from you guys being like, I don't know. The watch captain is like, this is over my pay grade. Come on, a lot of you, come with me. We'll take this before the. We'll take this to the magistrate. He can determine what the suitable
Right.
course of action is.
Can I recognise what rank he would be?
Probably he'd probably just be like a corporal, maybe.
Yeah. Guard captain, please. My colleagues and I here were bystanders. We have some expertise in dealing with greenskins and other creatures.
It's not like we have an entire business or something.
Yeah, well, so I'm not quite as part of that as you guys
Oh,
are,
yeah,
so I don't
that's
know what
true.
else to do. Right? So if you want to pipe up with that, then please do. But I don't know about that. But I said, look, we have quite a bit of extensive experience, but I assure you that we are merely offering our services to return this goblin or slay it to prevent its problems in the city. If you wish to hold the, what's the guy's name who's running the show?
Methusius.
That's right. If you wish to hold Mr. Methuselah here guilty, or hold him in, if you wish to investigate him, then please do so. But we don't need to be part of that. I ain't going anywhere near another bureaucratic potential for prison.
So this watch officer is a bit bamboozled. He's like, oh, this is above my pay grade. Look, the magistrate will just, if you are wanting to hunt this thing down, then I'm sure the magistrate will be able to organise some sort of recompense for your times and efforts. So why don't you come with me? We'll speak to the magistrate. He'll judge what he thinks is best, and you can take it from there. You can make your case to him.
That sounds like a good idea. Well. How about, why don't we go hunting for this goblin? You take your man to the magistrate to sort that out, and then we'll come and find you once we've dealt with him.
Sure. That's fine.
Excellent.
So, Methusius and his dwarf companion are led off to the magistrate, and you guys, I guess, are going to go and search for a missing goblin.
I think so.
And we will leave it there, I think.
I think we'll leave it.
Yep.
What a rich tapestry of experiences.
Exactly.
Indeed.
We've laughed, we've cried.
I cried twice.
We've cried twice.
Mm-hmm.
I somehow gained 3 followers in this one
Yes.
session. Crazy. We've cracked the 20 mark now, guys.
Woohoo.
I'm convinced that at least 2 of these are bots, but that's fine.
Well, we got one follower who was awesome and cracking
Some of them,
jokes
some
in
of them,
chat,
some of them
so-
are us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Good
you both of
stuff.
you for joining this evening.
Always a
and
pleasure.
This evening.
thanks again to Steve for being with us for a brief period of time.
Of course, hopefully we'll be able to run a session where all of us can be here again with like
Yeah.
Nick and me and Steve.
That- that-
and we can
That would be good.
not have it's late, but just we can get through all the core stuff together would be good.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be good. I know we're obviously getting towards Christmas, and that's when things start to get particularly dicey for finding time. But I reckon if we can squeeze another one in before the Christmas break,
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah,
ideal.
That'd be cool.
Ironically, I think for us we'd probably actually get slightly more time now because all the other events that we do stop. So
Yes, of course.
which is
Yeah.
good. But
Yeah,
we'll
because
see how we go.
Yeah.
next week obviously would have been our normal session, but we've got Jen's engagement party.
Yeah.
The following week, I should be free to do a session. And the week after that, we're almost at Christmas at that point, I think.
Yeah,
Alarmingly,
that's
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, we'll be getting on towards Christmas after that. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to fit in at least another one, maybe 2 if we're lucky. We can squeeze in 2 before the year's out.
That's it. That's it.
And who knows? Maybe we could do
Maybe.
a Christmas or a festive season one shot again, like we did that one time.
Yeah, that'd be
That could be fun.
I've got one that I'd like to run.
Cool.
That I need to do a bit of work on it to get it up, but I have had one for a few years now that I've been threatening. So maybe I'll try and run the Christmas one shot in person.
Sounds good. Sounds good. If we can wrangle it, then yeah, let's see if we can't make that happen. That'd be cool.
That's it. That's it.
Indeed.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks all.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's right. One quick question. So I can just spend my XP now,